Speaking of greatness, this is the gentleman who I was introducing earlier, who I told you I had great admiration for all the positive impact that he's made, sort of his journey from the outhouse to the White House, if you will. Someone who had troubles with the legal system, went through the legal system and became a judge in that system, and you now know him as Judge Greg Mathis on TV. I never talk behind anybody's back, so now that we do have him on the air, I do want to repeat what I said earlier. That is, I personally don't like him for the incredible heart attack that he caused me in Los Angeles, which we will never talk about the reasons why. But nevertheless, Judge Greg Mathis, you're on the Rock Newman Show. You're in the house. Welcome to our airways.
Good morning, my dear friend. How you doing?
I ain't your friend. I don't like you.
You keep on. I would throw another practical joke on you.
Gregory, brother.
Congratulations, man. I'm so happy that you have a voice there to let all of the country and D.C. area know that we still have some hope, and you're spreading that hope and inspiration. So thank you, man, on behalf of me and the rest of our community.
Greg, again, thank you for coming on. I'm in the studio right now with Brig Owens, a former Super Bowl champion, and Dick Gregory. Say hello to Dick Gregory.
God bless you, my brother. Peace and love. Always nice to see you. We're going to have to stop meeting that way in airports.
That's right. That's right. It was great seeing you. My wife and I were commenting on how we wish one day that we will stay as healthy as you, and God bless us with years as he has with you. So
Thank
God
you, my
bless
brother.
you. Thanks for all you've done for
Peace
our community over the years.
Hey, Greg, give us a quick synopsis of your going from the bench into the world, the much, much, much more lucrative world of television. How did that happen?
Well, interesting story. You know, when I ran for judge in Detroit in '94, the media attacked me because of my ex-offender background, and I'd had my record expunged and had become a lawyer and had worked for the mayor of Detroit for many years, and so I decided to run for judge, and here came the media after me, and so the community knew me, however, because I had worked very strongly throughout Detroit, and so it backfired on them when they tried to say that I wasn't qualified to be elected judge because of my background. Well, it backfired, and I indeed beat a 20-year incumbent by 10,000 votes. And so that story shot around the country, like for one day. You know how you make one day national news. And so the story was former street gang leader becomes youngest judge in Michigan history 15 years after leaving jail. And so, of course, media came, Hollywood came calling. They say, well, we want to do a movie. We want to do a movie. What was intended to be a movie ultimately led to the judge show, and one of the conditions I required is that they tell my journey at the beginning of the show so that other young brothers and single mothers and others will know that they can come up out of the poverty and the streets and overcome it and pursue their dreams. So that's how it all happened, and years later we're still trying to fight. I'm here in Memphis, Tennessee right now doing some gang intervention. Just in the trenches, still fighting.
Greg, in the trenches, and we know who coined that phrase.
That's right, our dear mutual friend Bush Lewis.
hey, Greg. In as we wrap this up, we are going to have on this first show, and it's just going to grow a younger and younger audience.
Great.
And to the youth who are listening and watching, I just need a couple of pearls of wisdom from someone who's been there, done that.
Well, you know, when I talk to our young people, I talk kind of strong because you can't sweet talk these street guys out of doing their business. You got to have to challenge them, and that manhood that they walk around with, you got to challenge it. And so my challenge is always to our young people who are facing tremendous obstacles that they have to fight back. They have to fight back and not punk out. That's my message, is fighting back by putting down the guns and picking up the books, marching, protesting, doing what they think is necessary to save our community if they are disgruntled, if the justice system isn't working for them or working against them in many cases as it is, and if they're denied economic opportunity, those are the reasons to march. Those are the reasons to fight. So I say, fight back, don't punk out.
Judge Mathis, Greg, man, I know how busy you were, how busy you have been, and how busy you were today. So for you to take your time out, man, and to join us, I'm really honored, man. I'm really pleased. Much love to you, to your family, and I look forward to having you back on in the not-too-distant future.
Thank you so much, Brother Rock. And once again, thanks for all you do. And Brother Gregory, we love you so dearly.
Thank
a lot
you,
of what I do was inspired by your work, and so I thank you.
Thank you much.
Thank
God bless.
Take care. As we wrap up this hour, I just can't personally thank Brig Owens enough for the commitment that he has made with tangible results to make our metropolitan area a better place to live. Brig, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Rock. Continue
Thank
to
you,
make
my
a
brothers.
difference.
And Richard Claxton Gregory III. We were in Iran in 1979 at the Semiramis Hotel when the hostages were across the street in the American embassy. We had guns. Well, I had guns pointed at me because I went out to get a suntan. Greg already had a tan.
I was going to get me a drink.
And Greg is one of the last Westerners, certainly from the United States, to actually meet with the Ayatollah. What interesting and incredible times those were. Greg, much love to you,
Thank
to the
you, my
family.
brother.
Please
Peace
tell
to
Lil
you.
I said
Always.
hello.
Thank you.
This wraps up the second hour of the Rock Newman Show. Let's see if we can get through this third hour. Thank you so much, those of you who have tuned in. And right now, we got a sellout crowd. And you know, as a promoter, you know, that's the favorite two letters is S-O, is sellout. And so it's a whole bunch of folks here in the house. I just see Mayor Tony Williams just showed up. I think Marion Barry might be coming, except Marion might be afraid to come because I heard Tony always whips him in tennis, and we'll see. We'll see. So thank you so much. We're going to go to break. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a New York second.
What do you care about?
We'll find out when the discussion continues after this on The Rock Newman Show.